Hi y'all, I had a few questions about the green drink. I call it green fire water. I don't know what else to call it. You know, I'm not the most creative. So I had a few questions, and so I thought I'd make a video, make it easier to answer them. So one of the questions I got was, what is a nut milk bag? Well, basically it's just a very fine mesh, or I don't know what the right word is, but it is just designed so like if you're going to make like almond milk or cashew milk or maybe even oat milk, you do all your blending and then you pour your liquid in here and then you just squeeze it out until you're left with the pulp. The first time I made this, I went and looked in my cabinet and I could not find, I had bought like a 2-pack. Couldn't find it. Had already bought the stuff and I wanted to make it, so I used this tiny little sieve strainer. However, there's a big debate on what to call these at one point, and I do not want to get caught up in that. But I used this the first time I made it, and the drink, the whatever you want to call it, was way too thick. Like I wanted my husband to take it just because of all the health benefits, and he refused to take it because of the texture. So you can make it if all you have is this, but this is better. And I'm going to tell you how I've done this a couple of ways and then how I've kind of settled on how I make it now. So in my blender, I take my ginger and I used about half of this guy this morning. And I try to use fresh just because I think it is better. And I peel some of the outside off just because I'm going to end up squeezing all the pulp through this, and the more I can kind of save myself time with, but there's still some left on it when I do blend it. And then typically I'll do about 1.5 bulbs of garlic. I think I got this at Aldi. I did find that they do start to go bad a lot quicker than I anticipated. So I've thrown, and yeah, I've got one in here for sure to be thrown away. And so once they start getting like little, I don't know if you can see, spots like that on them, that's either you peel that off or it's trash, however you want to do it. So in the blender, I kind of chop this up a little bit, peel it some, throw in some, and when I have the whole garlic, I don't get every little piece off because I am going to put it through this very fine mesh. I don't know if that's the right word. And then if you remember the story of a couple of weeks ago with my grocery delivery from Walmart, so I decided to do the Walmart Plus to see if it would make our lives easier. And I had ordered like 2 bags of lemons because I wanted it for a recipe and I also wanted to use it for this drink. They substituted 4 bags of seedless, that's on the front and back, seedless lemons, which like quadrupled my cost of lemons, which I was not prepared for. And so what I do with my lemons is I do peel some of the yellow off just because I'm going to have to strain it, but I leave some of it on just because I think I'm still going to get some of this good yellow, I don't know if it's polyphenols. I read and I know it's good for me and then I forget a lot of the details, but I know like some of this that's going to come off in the skin, the zest is good for us, so I leave some of it on. And then I add water, and I do not, every time I've done this, it fills this up, and I'll talk about this in a second, and I have enough for 1 shot. I don't know how I've done it perfectly every time like that, but it's just somehow I have. I blend it up with some water, and then I put this in a bowl, and I try and go like this, just to make it a little bit easier, and I dump it in. Now, this is yellow because one of the first times I actually made this, when I ordered these from Amazon, I went ahead and added the turmeric. Okay, so this is not the exact version of THM's Duo Greens powder. It's just, Duo Greens powder is a mixture of half spirulina and half moringa. So what I did is I went to Amazon because they were out, and I just bought moringa and spirulina, and I mixed about half in here. And then the baobab, and baobab also has fiber in it as well. So I put all of these in here, strained it into this, and squeezed everything out. Well, then I lost like some of the fiber that is not a lot that ends up in here, but it's a little bit. So it did stain my bag, the turmeric did. So I stopped doing that. So then once I do the initial blending, squeeze out all the fiber in this, I rinse out the blender, and then I dump the lemon, garlic, ginger back into the blender, and then I eyeball it. I do not have a recipe yet. I do not know if I qualified to offer a recipe for this. So one of my green things came with a scoop. I don't want to touch it, but I think you can see it. I think I took a picture of it today. So I do at least 3 scoops of the spirulina and the moringa. I don't know, honestly, if this is making a huge difference in this drink or not, but those are 2 powerhouses, and I feel like it can't hurt. Although, maybe it could. I don't know. And then, if you saw my picture earlier, I actually forgot to put the turmeric in here, so it should be not quite so green. I should have caught that when I finished, but I was rushing to get to my grandmother's to get her to her hair appointment, and she was 5 minutes late to her hair appointment. But I forgot to put this in here. And then I do at least 3 scoops of baobab, and this is a baobab from Amazon. It's just, I don't remember which one. And I do 3 big scoops. Show you what kind of, I mean, I don't know, maybe a good tablespoon. And I do 3 of those. And on the turmeric, I just eyeball it. I'm guessing I'm adding about a tablespoon of turmeric to it. And, you know, studies discover different things. And if I ever misspeak or speak on an old study, I do apologize. But right now, my understanding is for turmeric to have the best benefits and be the most absorbable, I'm not sure the right word, it needs some form of pepper. So if you can't handle cayenne, I would highly recommend throwing in some black pepper or white pepper. And there might be another option that you could add instead of cayenne, but right now my understanding is these need each other. Kind of like vitamin D3 needs K something. I don't know. I have it. It's a mixture. I have the tincture. So this is just red pepper flakes. I'm guessing at least a half a teaspoon. It has been hotter at other times and not as hot, and this one's not quite as hot. So when I add the turmeric, I might add a few more shakes of cayenne pepper. Someone commented of adding stevia to round it out. If you want to add, if you make this, I mean, I would recommend it, but you might try to find somebody who has an actual recipe. These are just extras that I felt like would be a great addition. And all of these have their own amazing properties. If you feel sick, I don't recommend it. I tried it last year when I was, a year and a couple months ago, I was sick and I could not get over whatever it was. I never got sick, but I was just constantly having something. And they said, eat raw garlic. I tried it and I almost threw up. But raw garlic is excellent for you. We know that ginger is excellent for you. And some of these even have anti-inflammatory properties, which at my age, almost 50, I need all the anti-inflammatory. The lemons, all of these have some great benefits. So I have discovered that when I'm adding the baobab and all the extra stuff, it separates. And so all you have to do is just shake it up and then pour it into a shot glass. I feel like my husband is Ron Swanson from Parks and Rec. And I just love this little shot glass. I regret nothing. The end. Another way I do this, you can get my husband a few years ago, I forget what he was taking every morning. He listens to people that's not his wife, and they'll suggest something, and then he'll start doing it. So you got like 6 shot glasses like this. And anyway, you can get these little guys. And what I was doing in the mornings is I would take 2 of these, fill these up, and then put them in our little fridge. And then in the morning, before he leaves, I would have him take one, and then when I get up, I take one. And you just shake it up, and then you shoot it, and then I wash it out, and then later in the day, then I'll refill these. And so I just take these until it's gone. I think I was talking to my friend today about it. I've talked to her about it before, because I talked about the raw sauerkraut that I eat every morning. And she said, that's terrible. And I was like, no, the worst part of my morning would be taking this, because this is not pleasant. You could leave out anything that you want, or not make it. You could also buy the immunity boosters. I think I know that Costco sells them. Walmart probably, Aldi sells them. And buy those instead of making them. I feel like this is cheaper. I haven't done the math, but I also like adding the extra things to it. But you could leave out whatever. But it's just one quick shot of something that I know is helping me. Cayenne is excellent for a lot of things, including our heart. And if you've been around long enough, you remember whenever I was at my friend's and my watch said I was an AFib, my heart was racing, and all these things happened. So I don't like this, but it's something that I feel is very beneficial for both of us. And anyway, or anybody that wants to take it. I told my daughter she's welcome to use these ingredients to make her own because she can't handle anything hot. So she would, if she made this, she definitely wouldn't add the cayenne. That's it. I had a few questions. I think I had answered all of them. I don't know if this is worse or not as good as getting. So what I would often do from Walmart is I get the three pack of garlic bulbs and use 1.5 for one recipe, and the next week do another 1.5. I don't know if this is like not as good as that. And I've also seen in the videos, I didn't know what it was because again, I live in a kind of a small town. They buy actual, real, fresh turmeric. I'm pretty sure my small town does not have fresh turmeric. But if you can find it, I imagine it might be better than using powdered, but this is what I've got. And as I say, use what you've got if you can. Another quick thing, and I'll quit because my husband got up at 2, taking a nap, and I'm sure he's ready for me to wake him up. What was I going to say? Oh, you could add some raw honey, but now we're adding some carbs and some, sweetener. So if you make it, you can research and see what you want to add, and if it's worth. And some of these other things might cancel out the honey. But I don't know. I told my husband if I can take it, he can have a shot too because he likes things that are hot and I don't. And again, never mind. I'll go. But I would love, if anybody makes it, I'd love to know what you think. Again, well over a month ago, we both woke up one morning and I'm on the phone with him. I'm like, man, I think I'm starting to get sick. And he said the same thing. And both of us had our throats were sore. I started making this. My daughter has been sick. My son got sick. My friends have been sick. Been around sick people. I'm out, at the gym almost every day. Grocery stores. I feel like this has helped me stay at least somewhat healthy through all of this. But anyway, if you do make it, I'd love to hear what you think or not. You might hate it, absolutely. But I hope you're having a great weekend. And if you're waiting out for my March menu, that might be tomorrow. I've got a baby shower tomorrow, and my third daughter, who's pregnant, birthday celebration is Sunday. Got a lot on my plate right now, but that is it. I would love for you to make it, and just, I don't know, you can tell me what you think, but I don't know if you'll like it. But that is all. If you do have more questions, I had some people reach out to me. But if you have questions or thoughts about any of this, or if you've heard studies about any of these different things, I would love for you to share what you have heard, or if you do think it's still cayenne or pepper and turmeric for it to have maximum health benefits. That's it. Hope you're having a great weekend. Bye.